Hello.
Two-time Olympic gold medalist, 5-division world champion, undefeated, the GOAT.
There's no woman in the world that can beat me in a fight.
I'm gonna stop Clarissa Shields.
I'm only getting stronger and better. I'm gonna make Lonnie quit.
I'm ready to go. Just ready to take care of business.
He's still such a young man. He's already a multi-weight world champion.
Nice uppercut in the left hand. Nice shot there from Ben Rodriguez.
This kid has it all.
They're gonna see something special.
Yeah, loads of boxing coming up this weekend. Obviously, the big one, Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois, Wembley Stadium. For everything, you can buy that now. Just go to thezone.com/boxing. And then stateside, I think one of the best boxers in the world, Jesse Bam Rodriguez, has a test in a unification fight against Femilulu Cafu. And then the man that everyone thinks could be a heavyweight champion, Moses Italma, first real big step up, takes on former world title challenger Dillian White. That part of Riyadh season, that one all gets underway August 16th. And then look at this, the Ring 4 Night of Champions card, headlined by David the Monster Benavidez versus Anthony Yard. Loads of boxing coming your way. All right, we are in the ring. Adi Oladipo, Carl Frampton, Darren Barker, who for the next few minutes is going to be Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois, because we're going to look back 2 years ago, nearly 2 years ago to the day actually, when Daniel Dubois went to Poland and challenged Alexander Usyk. Obviously, it didn't quite work out well for him, so what we're going to do is look at the things that he could improve on and what makes Alexander Usyk so good as well. Happy to play Alexander Usyk. Happy Fight of the Year, former Fight of the Year player and one of the all-time greats, world champion IBF.
He should be with the underdog picks, hasn't he?
He kind of should, he kind of should.
Yeah.
But you had the IBF belt, Daniel's IBF belt, kind of all makes sense, right? So we're going to look, the first thing we're going to look at is the jab, which was key for Alexander Usyk. Wasn't so key for Daniel Dubois. This is the jab of Daniel Dubois, and it needs to be a lot better, Darren.
It didn't commit to the shot, by the way. And I think he was just a little wary of what might come back. I think with the current run of form, the positivity that he has in his performances now, I think we'll see more dominance behind that jab. He needs to bring in the front foot, step in behind the shot. I was saying to Cole, whether you flick out the jab because you're a little bit wary of what's coming back, or you step in, he's going to counter you regardless. So you're better off giving 100% to the jab, really bringing the feet in and stepping in.
All right, let's have a look at the stats for the jab. And they're very, very low. And this is, again, something that I'm sure Don Charles can improve on. Okay, total number of jabs thrown by Daniel Dubois against Alexander Usyk, 10. You look at it against Daniel Dubois' other opponents, so Hergovich, Miller, and AJ, and he's throwing an average of over 58. 58 jabs landing, only 10 landed against Alexander Usyk. It's an improvement, right? He has to make that improvement.
He has to make the improvement, and like Darren says, the jab has to be much better, and he needs to commit, like you said, but I think a double or a treble jab to get close, because them tentative single jabs, it's so easy for a master fighter like Usyk just to counter punch. So we have seen Daniel improve. He looks like he's a better fighter than the first version of him that fought Usyk, but the jab is going to be so important for him.
Cool. All right, so after that one, guys, so we were going to then, what was the next one? Alexander Usyk, Daniel Dubois, body, what was it? Okay, cool, we got that then, that's fine. So can I just quickly see the graphics for both of those, please? Because we don't need to fully rehearse this. So they're not, just to be clear, they're not going to be behind us then, yeah? Okay, cool. Okay, so that's punches landed against Usyk. Okay, that's good. I can barely see that, you know. My eyes are so bad. I wish I had glasses. I can't, all I can see clearly is 16. But I'll be out of shot anyway. Okay, so that's fine. And there was, what was the other one? Dino, what was the other graphic? Let's have a look. Nice, we've seen that one already. Jabs landed, we've seen that. The body shots one. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So we'll wrap that, we'll do that, and then I'll say, okay, cool, look, hopefully these are things that Daniel Dubois can change. Make sure you tune in this Saturday live on DAZN. Just go to DAZN.com/boxing to buy the pay-per-view. Tomorrow is the press conference, Friday weigh-in, Saturday showtime. We'll see you then, blah, 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 bye. Yeah, cool, that's cool, okay.
Yeah,
well, not, yeah, but yeah. No. So we're going to go from there via that promo, that minute-and-a-half promo to get to here, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Still hot blood, do you?
Yeah, mate. You've got to be hot in that.
Yeah.
Are they going to go round? Are they? Because we spoke to him earlier about him coming this way. That's what I mean. I just want to. Yeah.
Ade, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ade, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, got your ears on? I've got ears. Can you hear me? No. Can you hear me? Oh, okay, yeah.
Live on DAZN.
All right, the DAZN bus can only mean one thing. Fight week has begun for Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. We're at Wembley Way. I love this place. Wembley Stadium in the background as well, where it all takes place on Saturday. Fight week begins with Box Park, which means the media and public workout. Then it's the press conference. Then it's the weigh-in. And then we throw hands to see who will go home with all this gold. It's a lot of gold as well. Anyway, I'm busy. Box Park for the media public workout. Let's do this.
Two champions collide in a battle ignited by undisputed ambition.
This is history. On the 19th of July, we're going to see history.
Alexander Usyk, still unbeaten. He wears the crown after the Gypsy King was dethroned in the Ring of Fire.
The undisputed heavyweight champion.
Now, a new threat to Usyk's reign. Dynamite Daniel Dubois, with a burning desire to follow in the footsteps of greatness. Back on home soil, Wembley Stadium, where he claimed his finest victory. The new champion now seeks revenge. There's history, controversy, and unfinished business.
Oh, he's not low! I've been cheated out of a shot.
The stage is set. Who will prevail and emerge king of the heavyweight division?
Here we go. Doesn't get bigger than this, does it? Daniel Dubois will return to Wembley Stadium full of confidence after that hugely impressive performance against Anthony Joshua last year, and he will feel like he has a score to settle against OLEKSANDR USYK after that somewhat controversial first meeting in Poland nearly 2 years ago. The excitement is really starting to build as we edge ever closer to fight night. Welcome inside Box Park, Wembley, which is starting to really build up. The media public workout is just about to begin. 90,000 will be at Wembley Stadium on Saturday night, and we're a stone's throw away from here in Box Park. As you can see, the ring has been erected just behind me. I'm alongside Carl Frampton and Darren Barker. The fighters are going to do their bits in here, and then we'll get into it, blah, blah, blah.
Sit on the bed a bit, but we can talk about Usyk and Dubois and continue to do that. So we don't need to do a fucking free commentary on
Okay. All right. I'll see you up then. Yeah. I'll
talk about. Sorry, thank you. Yeah. Maybe what's Usyk trying to do here? He's trying to build a fucking team of fighters to promote all that sort of shit. Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, you know. It's almost like Usyk's now almost becoming a promoter. It's almost like, that's it now, isn't it? They're all these fighters. Huh?
What's this thing called?
Rightfight.com. Rightfight.com. Yeah, so that's quite easy. You know, Dean, can you hear me? How long from that first opening chat do we throw to Thomas Schreiber? How long we got? Okay, so wait. So what's this? So it's opening chat, fight. Let's give you a reminder of the fight card coming your way on Saturday.
Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
The Zone is the home of boxing, with over 150 live fights a year.
It's over!
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
How do you like it? How do you like it?
That is unbelievable. These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
That is what sport means. That is what the EuroLeague trophy means.
Are you not entertained?
I'm not supposed to be cheering, but this is X Series. I can do whatever I want.
Everything is difficult in this life, so still you need to be on it.
It all comes down to tonight. Don't miss the biggest night in MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Looking to the end zone for the win!
Oh my gosh, one of the great games you'll ever see.
The competition is back, and the UEFA Women's Champions League looks set to be bigger and better than ever before.
It's their time. A night to remember.
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
Live on DAZN.
All right, the DAZN bus can only mean one thing. Fight week has begun for Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. We're at Wembley Way. I love this place. Wembley Stadium in the background as well, where it all takes place on Saturday. Fight week begins with Box Park, which means the media and public workout. Then it's the press conference. Then it's the weigh-in. And then we throw hands to see who will go home with all this gold. It's a lot of gold as well. Anyway, I'm busy. Box Park for the media public workout. Let's do this.
Two champions collide in a battle ignited by undisputed ambition.
This is history. On the 19th of July, we're going to see history.
Alexander Usyk, still unbeaten. He wears the crown after the Gypsy King was dethroned in the Ring of Fire.
The undisputed heavyweight champion.
Now, a new threat to Usyk's reign. Dynamite Daniel Dubois, with a burning desire to follow in the footsteps of greatness. Back on home soil, Wembley Stadium, where he claimed his finest victory. The new champion now seeks revenge. There's history, controversy, and unfinished business.
Oh, he's got low. I've been cheated out of trouble.
The stage is set. Who will prevail and emerge king of the heavyweight division?
Daniel Dubois will return to Wembley Stadium full of confidence after that hugely impressive performance against Anthony Joshua last time out, and he will feel he has a score to settle against Alexander Usyk after that somewhat controversial first meeting in Poland 2 years ago. The excitement is really starting to build as we edge closer to fight night. Welcome inside Box Park, looking busy already. It really is. Adi Ladipo, Carl Frampton and Darren Barker. This is good, isn't it? I always like when they allow the public to come in. I hate the media workouts where the public isn't allowed in, because this is how you sell it, right? And the public are starting to fill this space up. 90,000 people expected at Wembley Stadium. Boxing's buzzing right now. It's crazy.
It's crazy, but we keep seeing these big fights, and it shows you that the appetite's there for boxing. The fans come out in their droves when there's a big fight, an evenly matched fight like we're seeing. Well, some people may not say it's an evenly matched one, but you know what I mean. Big fights bring big crowds, and people love the boxing. I think, in my personal opinion, after football, at the minute, boxing is probably the most popular sport in the UK.
Yeah, it really is. It goes back to kind of when you guys were fighting, right, and it felt like there were big fights. It's small. When I was fighting, yeah, when you were fighting, Daz. Let's talk about the first fight, nearly 2 years ago to the day where Daniel Dubois went to Poland. And if we're honest, no one gave him a chance first time round. Obviously, it's completely changed this time round. He was good, he was aggressive, but Alexander was taking it. What was it? Low?
It was low, in my opinion. I know he says opposite, but look, one thing's for sure, right? And I spoke to Daniel and Alexander yesterday. Daniel doesn't want to talk about this fight no more. And I understand why, because he's a completely different animal now. He's on a great run of form, he really is. I mean, this seems so distant, doesn't it? The way he's bounced back against Miller, then Hrgovic, and then AJ here in the career-defining fight of his career today. He's a different animal. He's a different animal now. He's got this newfound confidence, and that's so important going in there with someone like Usyk. You've got to worry about what you're doing. Don't worry about Usyk. You've just got to let your hands go. Don't be tentative with the shots. Load up with everything and try and catch that one lucky shot.
How confident will he be after that AJ performance in the same venue as well, when he was walking to the ring as an underdog and he walked away with the IBF belt or retaining the IBF belt?
I think he will be confident.
Number 2 heavyweight.
Yeah, and I've got to credit the governing bodies. And if he's carrying the IBF belt, then you're number 2. If you've got the remaining belt in the division, you're number 2. And I would say so as well. Look, you know, you give a mention to Caballero, Parker as form heavyweights, but with the performances he's put in, and the one of late, the last one here in front of 90,000+ people, knocking out Anthony Joshua, the UK darling, if you like, that puts you right up there.
I spoke to Frank Warren yesterday, and I said, Frank, you've had so many good fighters, so many big success stories in your 40 years as a promoter. Would this be the biggest? Just because no one really ever envisaged Daniel Dubois potentially holding all the belts. I mean, we're talking sort of Lennox Lewis status, you know what I mean?
And what did he say? What did Frank say?
He kind of went around the houses and took about an hour to get there, but I think he kind of said yes, in terms of success story, because Joe Calzaghe and Ricky Hatton, he expected those guys to go on and do what they did. I don't think he really expected Dubois to do it.
I think as a one-off single, not special moment, historic moment, it would have to be that. You know, that trophy you have had, the only heavyweight fighters that own all 4 belts, that's a special moment. And not just beating sort of, you know, number 1 or number 2 in the division, beating a master, beating an all-time great, exactly.
And Frank's had him from the start of this journey as a young boy, and really he's taken him under his wing and guided him right to the very top. And he's been able, I mean, he's awarded him with a world title to bring back, but I mean, how special is it going to be if he pulls this off and beats Usyk on the night?
Indeed. We've seen both of these guys outside Wembley Stadium kind of barking, or at least Daniel Dubois barking to Alexander Usyk. We've seen them on the bus as well. Let's hear them now, face to face. Mr. Darren Barker, heard you did a fantastic job. This is a bit of the face-off between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois.
Alexander Usyk, the undefeated, undisputed, 2-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Daniel! Where is Daniel?
Some considered the GOAT of the heavyweight division. Daniel Dubois, the young power puncher with something to prove. They now meet again, July 19th, exclusively on DAZN. Before they meet in the ring, they meet here. What was it like sharing the ring with Usyk? Everyone calling Alexander a master. What was it like sharing a ring with a master?
Look, I've come on since then. I've resurrected myself, so I feel, you know, just ready for a new beginning. Really, I'm ready for a great fight. Looking forward to a great fight, and yeah, I'm excited for it.
Was you surprised when Daniel didn't get to his feet when you hit him with that jab?
No, because my jab was hard.
Was it a hard jab?
I don't want to even go there. We're talking about that's past and gone. Because I don't know what you're trying to. I know what you're doing your job, but I'm looking for the, you know, causing chaos in the ring on Saturday, and that's my whole game.
Do I get my job back, Darren? Is that you now full time?
I'll tell you, one of the hardest things I've had to do.
It's not easy.
Look, you've seen it time and time again, and you know, Cole, when fighters approach that fight,
some just don't want to talk.
Some don't want to talk. They're switched on, and to be honest, I didn't mind it. I want to see that. I want to see that aggression. I want to see two fighters that want to leave it all in the ring now. They want to let their fists do the talking. So it was a little bit of a challenge.
Is that the full version? 1 minute, 10 seconds? Is there more to it? All right, let's remind you what we got coming your way on Saturday. Obviously, the main event is what everyone is tuning in for, but it's a good undercard as well. Some interesting fights. Start at the bottom. Lasha Guruli takes on James Francis. Adam Hamed, you know the name, the son of Prince Nassim Hamed, takes on Ezekiel Grigoris. We've not seen Adam for ages. Vladislav Sirenko takes on Solomon Dakers. Must-win fight for Dakers, this one. Interesting fight in the light heavyweight division. Daniel Lapin, who's always featured in Alexander Usyk's undercard, takes on Lewis Edmonson, coming off that really good win against Dan Aziz. Lawrence Okoli, who's now fully-fledged heavyweight. Wait till you see him in the ring. Takes on Kevin Lerena. These guys were supposed to fight at cruiserweight, didn't happen. Bridgerweight didn't happen. Now it happens at heavyweight. And then we have the biggest fight in boxing, it has to be, the undisputed heavyweight title fight between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois. All right, Thomas Triber is in the ring behind me, so I think it's time to throw to one of the best MCs in the game. Thomas, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the media workout for undisputed Usyk versus Dubois 2. A great night of World Championship boxing to be held this Saturday, July 19th from Wembley Stadium in London, England. It is all being brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry with Ready to Fight, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, The Ring Magazine, GG Bet, Snoo, and Global Next Trade. A big thanks to those great sponsors. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a reminder that this great event will be shown live worldwide on DAZN by now at DAZN.com. Let's now get the media workout started. Our first two fighters competing Saturday in a scheduled 6-round super lightweight contest. We will first welcome to the ring from Liverpool, England. His professional record, 7 wins, just 1 defeat, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is James Two Dogs Francis.
James Francis coming to the ring. You heard Thomas Triber say it there. Record of 7 wins, just a 1 defeat. Since that 1 defeat, he's reeled off 4 wins to try and get the confidence back. And I mean, again, we always say this about these undercard fights, but what an opportunity. Wembley Stadium, and you're opening it. It's a good opportunity.
Yeah, it's huge. And Francis, look, I like him stylistically. He did, as you said, lost once to Stefan. And do you know what it was? He was just frustrated by the movement. But he's aggressive, he keeps his hands high, he's got good variation. I guess if I was to be a little picky, I'd like to see him snap out the shots more, but I'm telling you, this man comes to fight.
And they do, don't they? The Scousers, it's typical of them. They all want to win. They all try to fight. They don't typically come just for a payday. This kid will be up for this fight. He's up against it in a tough fight. Guruli, who'll be in the ring in a minute, only into his 2nd fight, but an Olympian, a good fighter, and obviously looking to be fast-tracked. But this kid has an opportunity just to upset that completely and get himself involved in bigger fights going forward.
I always ask this question about these media workouts, whether or not the fighters even care about doing it, whether or not someone like him will be happy to do it, because there is a crowd here as well. I mean, it's a big crowd right in front of him watching it. Do they just want to get it done and get out?
Nah, do you know what? I think someone like Francis will be buzzing. You know, what a great opportunity, and what something to tell your kids one day, Cole. You know, it's what you dream of. These are moments you dream of. You know, not that long ago, he's losing to Stephen Vincent, and now he's here, right at the National Stadium in a couple of days' time. He's here doing the media workout. This is what dreams are made of, so you just embrace it. The one spur up the card that are doing it all the time, they get a bit fed up with it, Cole, doesn't
No,
they?
he's going to be buzzing, of course. I mean, the first thing that he's on this huge bill. He's fighting at Wembley Stadium. I mean, there's probably more people here right now than have seen the majority of his fights, quite possibly. So it's a big opportunity for him to kind of make his brand grow, get his name bigger, and put himself, you know, amongst some bigger names.
Thank you very much to James Two Dogs Francis. And now let's welcome to the ring, coming to us from Guruli in the country of Georgia. He had a stellar amateur career, becoming a 2024 Olympic bronze medalist, and now as a professional is undefeated with one victory. Let's welcome Lasha Guruli.
Lasha Guruli, look, I know his handlers, and they think that he could go very far, very quickly. And that's the plan, right? They want to put him in just to see where he is. And I think you mentioned it, Carl. They're going to fast-track him. And I understand that. If you're an Olympian, if you medaled at an Olympics, I mean, why hang around? Just go.
There's no need. There's no need. And these guys, I mean, I know a little bit about Georgian fighters. My old amateur coach, Zar Antia, one of the amateur coaches on the high performance team, was an incredible fighter in his own right, incredible coach now. But they love to fight. They have an aggressive style. I'm hoping I'm seeing an aggressive style tomorrow night. But, you know, listening to what people have been saying about him, we've seen him, I've seen him in the amateurs a little bit. I don't know a lot about him, but people are saying some big things, and he'll be looking to go very far.
I always love Darren. Now, some fighters take this thing so differently, don't they? I mean, he's got his hand wraps on. He wants to actually put the gloves on and throw, and some just come in and do a bit of shadow spar. Like, everyone treats it differently.
Yeah, they do. And again, I guess that goes back to you talking about the Francis workout there. What will he be thinking? Look, he's obviously enjoying this. He's relishing this moment. With all he's achieved in the amateurs, winning that bronze in the Olympic Games in Paris, and talking about them wanting to fast-track him and progress him fast. His debut was against a 6-0 Ghanaian. So that says everything, you know, with their ambitions. That a 6-0 Ghanaian isn't a journeyman. That's someone who has ambitions for themselves. He doesn't have your stereotypical kind of top-class amateur style that you'd be used to seeing with the Russians, Cubans, etc. But he has a style that obviously works for him.
Looks very loose with his hands as well, the way he's snapping it out.
Yeah, he's a lot taller as well, isn't he, than the opponent? I mean, a lot taller, I would say. It'd be nice to see what they're like head-to-head, but you know, knowing these guys and knowing the Georgia, about me and your height, Darren, that's about the difference.
Thank you very much to Lasha Guruli. Our next fighter to the ring, competing Saturday in a scheduled 4-round super lightweight contest. Fighting out of Dubai, United Arab Emirates, by way of Sheffield, England. He is now undefeated with 5 wins. 3 of his 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Prince Adam Hamed.
I'll never understand the pressure of sort of famous fathers and what it does to you. We saw the news the other day about young Campbell Hatton saying enough's enough right after 2 defeats, and the pressure he was always under sort of entering the ring. And I almost feel like Adam Hamed's got that pressure as well, especially when they call him Prince Adam Hamed. I just feel like it's immediate pressure to perform.
Yeah, but he never looks like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, does he? He's always got a big smile on his face and he enjoys his boxing. He never looks tense in the ring. And I have to say, last time out in Riyadh, it was a very, very cold night, if you can remember.
I remember.
And he looked very good against Jesus Gonzalez. He dropped him heavy with a lovely right hook, counter shot, dropped him right at the end of the third round, then quickly followed in on the fourth round and stopped him. It was a really good performance and really coming of age, looking good, looking mature, and developing nicely as a boxer.
It's been a while since we've seen him. I think December was that cold night that you're referring to. That's a long time ago for someone that hasn't had that many fights. You'd normally think they'll be out every couple of months.
Yeah, I think so, but I'm not sure what the issue. Maybe there's been an injury or something, but I imagine he would like to be out more regular than he is. But look, Adam's a good fighter. He's not like his dad. He fights a little bit different than his dad. Maybe he doesn't have the same punch power as his dad or the movement, but he's a different style. But you're right, the pressure is there. When you're the father of someone as good as, or the son of someone as good as the Prince, the real Prince, then it's always going to be difficult. But this kid can fight, and he's a nice kid as well. Yeah. Very, very humble. Obviously, we saw what the dad done outside the ring, and he used to wind people up, and he liked to say what he wanted. Adam's a different character as well. Lovely kid, but he can fight as well.
I like the fact he's got a good man in the ring with him as well, Jamie Moore, who just won't accept any of the nonsense, will he?
No, he won't.
Saying that him and Nigel Travis kind of get up to their own tricks as well.
But they're serious men, and Jimmy sees a lot of potential in this kid, and I think he's with the best team right now.
Thank you very much to the undefeated Prince Adam Hamed.
Okay, Adam Hamed, let's get a word. You made your professional debut on the undercard of Usyk versus Dubois 1. It's only right you're on the undercard on Saturday, right?
Yeah, I'm blessed, man. Big up Frank Warren, big up Queensbury for the opportunity. It's the second coming. Thank you very much for having me.
Listen, your legendary father, Prince Naseem Hamed, boxed all over the world, but he never boxed at Wembley Stadium. You are.
Yeah, he paved the way for me, and now it's time for me to continue the legacy.
What can we expect on Saturday night?
Expect fireworks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Prince Adam Hamed.
Two fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 10-round heavyweight contest. Let's first welcome to the ring from Birmingham, England. His professional record, 9 wins, just 1 defeat. 3 of his 9 wins come by way of knockout. Here is the former English heavyweight champion, Solomon the Real Deal Dakers.
Must-win fight, I think, for Solomon Dakers. I say must-win just because of where he wants to go. And look, he still has ambitions about British titles and potentially going further than that. If that's the case, he needs to perform and bounce back after that David Adelaide stoppage.
Yeah, he has to win here. I mean, Solomon Dakers was a top-class amateur. Came into the pro game with a lot of potential, but hasn't really lived up to it yet. So tomorrow gives him the chance to do that. He's in against a good fighter. It's a tough fight for him, but if he can pull it off, then he puts himself right back amongst it. And I mean, if he can win this fight, there's absolutely no reason why he can't go on to win a British title at least.
I've been ringside with you, Daz, when he's fighting, and it's always a case of you wanted him to speed up a bit and let his hands go a bit more, maybe just a bit too cautious and too relaxed in there.
Yeah, sometimes that really classy amateur pedigree can go against you in the pro game. You know, it can be a little bit detrimental. His boxing brain is second to none, but sometimes that stops him from really going through the gears and letting shots go because he's obviously cautious about coming back. I see him actually earlier posing for photographs for the photographers with his top off. Looks in great shape, and to me, it seems like he's a bit bigger. I think he's putting on a little little bit size, not bundles of size. So I'll be interested to see how that fares in the contest. But the one thing's for sure, he's not coming back with an easy touch, is he?
I mean, maybe the defeat to Adelaide was the kick off the backside he needed, because he does look in better shape here than I've seen him in his previous fight. So maybe that's all he needed.
Mentally, how difficult will it be to come back from a defeat like that? I mean, everyone sort of thought that could be a 50-50 fight, and in the end, he got done in the first round.
Making or breaking of you. I think, look, if we go back to one half of the main event, Daniel Dubois, you know, those defeats could have ended him, but he didn't. He rallied back, and now look at the confidence of the young man. Same for Dakers. If he can come back with a win against the favourite you have today in Sirenko, then he's back on form. He's back in the mix. So he'll be feeling the pressure ever so slightly, but I guess with the amount of fights he would have had in the amateurs, just cracking, like looking forward to crack on and get his career back on track.
And I guess you're in a division nowadays where there are so many heavyweights. I mean, this is the best time to be a heavyweight fighter, right? Win or lose, I mean, you're going to get matched.
Yeah, I mean, even in the UK alone, the amount of top caliber, very good heavyweights that, because there's so many around at the minute, may never get the chance to even fight for a British title. So there's opportunities for him. There will be big fights off the back of this, but he must win. He has to win this fight.
Yeah, and he wasn't scheduled to fight Vladislav Sirenko. That got changed a couple of weeks ago, so Sirenko's coming in on relatively short notice. But Sirenko can fight as well. He's from that Ukrainian stock, and I guess anyone with a Ukrainian flag next to their name nowadays, you're thinking they can have a go.
Yeah, he carries his hands high, he's in your face, punches hard with both hands. So this man's going to have to stay extremely switched on. But if he can get the job done, he's back in the mix.
Thank you very much to Solomon, the real deal Dakers.
Solomon Dakers there getting his final almost send-off from Thomas Triber. Solomon Dakers is going to join us in the studio. On Sirenko, we haven't seen much of him on these shores, so it's going to be exciting to see what he can do. Another name being added to already a congested heavyweight division, but he's 22-0, and look, yes, some of those 22 fighters haven't been sort of star names, but anyone that's 22-0 is 22-0.
No, he's a good fighter. He's a decent fighter, like Darren says, but we'll learn a lot more about him from after this fight against Solomon. So we'll see. But like I said, Solomon, this is a must-win for. I suppose it's probably a must-win for both guys, if I'm being honest. At this stage of their career, they have to win, and a slip-up could be costly. It could be the end of the career.
I find this sort of era, or this time rather, now quite exciting, because the old guard are coming to the end of their careers, and now we're finding out who the next stars are going to be.
Yeah, okay, let's welcome in Solomon Dakers. Solomon, how are you? Good? One thing Darren said, he saw you with your top off there backstage. He said, shape-wise, you're in better shape than you was last time. Is that something you've worked on?
Yeah, well, I've just been working, you know. Obviously, the last fight was December, and, you know, I've been working a good 6-7 solid months, you know, working on my strength and conditioning stuff, and, you know, and then getting back to sparring and my conditioning, everything. So, always working to improve all the time.
Sometimes this can happen, Solomon, but do you think the defeat is maybe going to be the best thing for you going forward?
100%, you know.
You do look in better shape now than I've seen you.
Yeah, I've put a little bit of size on, not too much, because, you know, the stamina is one of my attributes still, but just a little bit of size. And, yeah, like you say, along this career, you guys know it's not going to be a straight path. Something's going to happen. You're going to have a blip. That was my blip right there, my last fight. So next time out, from now on, I'm just going to get things much better.
So, quickly, where's your mind with this as far as winning and performance concerned? Is this about putting on a good display, or is this just about winning by all means necessary?
Bit of both, really, but winning is the ultimate, really, because, you know, I'm coming off a defeat. I've got to win and get myself back in the picture, and, you know, a win's going to do that. You know, I'm coming straight back in against a 22-0 guy. You know, there's no rebuilding here. Just straight back in there, show what I'm made of.
Very quickly, obviously, Vladislav Sirenko's coming on, not late notice, because I thought as a heavyweight you should stay ready, but this was supposed to be another opponent.
Yeah.
Was there any sort of hesitation to say, well, 1 second, that's not what we signed up for, or do you just want that fight?
Just said, yo, we've got to take the opportunity. Take the opportunity, you know. I wouldn't take the fight if I didn't think I was going to win it. I know I've been training all the time. Obviously, you want more notice. I've had 3 weeks notice. You know, you're fine-tuning and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm in generally good shape all the time. So it wasn't hard to just, you know, ramp it up for a few weeks.
Solomon, good luck. You're looking fantastic, Shay. Good luck on Saturday,
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys.
And And now let's welcome to the ring, coming to us from Kyiv, Ukraine. He is undefeated with 22 wins, 19 of his 22 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Vladislav Sirenko.
Here comes the unbeaten Ukrainian Vladislav Sirenko. And quick story, when I was thinking I could maybe be a boxing commentator, I commentated on his first couple of fights in South Africa. He was a young man then, and he's taken a while to get to the big stage. But he's always wanted this, he's always wanted an opportunity, and I guess they don't get bigger than this. And OLEKSANDR USYK, your countryman's undercard, for an undisputed heavyweight title fight. This is what he's been waiting for.
What buzz. I mean, what an opportunity for this man here. He's a wrecking ball, he really is. High guard, lets big shots go with both hands.
Besides these fights.
I mean, look, he's huge, he really is. I mean, if there's another Rocky film coming out, he can play the opposite corner. But yeah, look, 22 fights, 19 by knockout, and one thing with him, he punches with both hands, but when he has you hurt, he's a very, very good finisher, Carl.
I love the style of pretty much all Eastern European fighters. I love how they fight. A lot of them have different styles. You look at Lomachenko and Usyk. This guy had a different style, but it's still very, very Eastern European, aggressive, hands high, coming forward. And he's a good fighter, but I mean, I think it's a top fight for both guys, if I'm being honest. And really a must win as well. I sound like I'm repeating myself here a little bit, but this guy can fight. He can really fight. He's exciting to watch.
He can. In the corner, that guy behind him is James Ali Bashir, who's been his trainer from the very beginning. James Ali Bashir used to work alongside Manny Stewart. So he's gone that route as well, to try and get an American trainer in, just maybe to kind of get away the stiffness that I think maybe people thought he had early. So they've tried to tick every single box here.
Yeah, and away from that, it just shows his desire and his ambition to improve and be better and make a big name for himself.
What an interesting division the heavyweight division is right now, and again, new names being added to it, and this is a new name. Watch out for this man on Saturday. Tough task for Solomon Dakers, but I guess the reward's even bigger if Solomon comes through this. He looks like a bull, doesn't he?
I was about to say, we've seen majority of this workout of him on the back foot moving around. We're not going to see that Saturday night, by the way. He's going to be the aggressor on the front foot, looking to land heavy, heavy shots.
This is why I think sometimes these open workouts are a little bit pointless, because what you see of the fighters doing in the ring is not what they're going to do on the night. You'd be stupid if you showed any sort of thing, wouldn't you?
And he ends it with a nice little left hook.
Vladislav Sirenko.
There you go. What I like as well, what we're doing now, which I think has been introduced by Riyadh season, now with the media workout, we're going to have a fight, which I think is quite good as well. So people are going to actually see some action. I believe you boys are commentating.
We are.
On the fight as well.
An exhibition.
An exhibition.
But still,
a fight's a fight.
A fight's a fight, yeah. I'm pretty sure we're going to see these throw hands.
I don't really, you see the title exhibition, I don't really believe in that, Pete. No. Someone wants to, in an exhibition, if one girl can knock the other girl out, they'll try it.
They're going to do it. And it's a small ring as well.
Yeah, it is, right.
So they're going to get in there, they're going to throw hands in a small ring. But again, things like this, I think, are the small changes in boxing which people have liked. So again, not just the media public workout, but you have a little fight within the public workout. I think it just keeps people interested.
We've said, haven't we, whether it be Riyadh or when we was in London for AJ Dubois, they're events now. They're events. All of these shows, you know, they keep you thinking, they keep you guessing, but they keep you entertained all the time, and it's been refreshing, Cole.
Yeah, of course it has. And I mean, it's something different. It's a little bit different, but I like it. I prefer to watch these two girls fighting than watching any fighter, no matter who it is, do a little bit of shadow boxing.
Agreed. We've seen half the fighters so far. Again, so I think some really interesting 50-50 fights. One after the fight is going to be Daniel Lapin versus Lewis Edmondson, which I think is a really 50-50 fight.
Yeah, I do. look, Lapin has stopped 4 of his last 5 opponents.
You've been doing your homework.
Yeah, no, but he's a very good fight because he was someone I looked at first thinking he's just coasting here. He's just winning and making life look easy for himself. A very, very good fight.
Yeah, and Lewis Edmondson, obviously, again, coming off that Dan Aziz win, which some thought was controversial, but regardless, we know where Dan Aziz is, so that was a step-up performance from him.
I think that the Dan Aziz win is probably better than any win that Lapin has on his record at this stage.
Yep.
I know Lapin's ranked higher with the government bodies and certainly with BoxRec anyway, but this is a 50-50 fight, like you said, and it's a fight that's probably went a little bit under the radar. I think Lapin is very good, very awkward, but he sometimes allows people to get close, and that's what Edmonson will be trying to do.
Don Charles has just gone past, obviously, Don Charles, the trainer of Daniel Dubois. Derek Chisora is here as well. Quick word on Don Charles. I feel like doesn't maybe get enough said about him, the way in which he's done the U-turn act on Daniel Dubois. I think he's been incredible for him.
Yes, so good. He knows Daniel inside out, and he's been instrumental in the way that he's developed into the fighter he is now. And I quite like what they're doing, Cole. There's a lot of mental warfare going on. I think they're really trying their absolute best to unsettle Alexander Usyk and the team.
I think he really understands Daniel, and that's important to get the most out of him. And I think Don Charles is an incredible coach. I think that you're right, he maybe doesn't get enough credit, but he is, in terms of a trainer for a heavyweight, some guys can't train heavyweight fighters, some guys he's the perfect trainer for a heavyweight fighter.
The body bag on,
absolutely.
He'll get stuck in, won't he, with it?
And then add to the fact that they brought Kieran Farrell into the gym for a little bit of speed and to loosen him up a little bit too. I think it's a great combination, and it's clearly working.
What they seem to have done is almost created a gym just for Daniel. So everything in that camp is geared just for Daniel, no one else, just for Daniel. And that could be a good idea. Sometimes you go to fight camps and there's 8 or 9 fighters within a gym. They're like, okay, no, this is for Daniel and this is it. That's our mission.
And it's working. And again, his man management, he knows how to get the best out of Daniel. He's obviously a cheerleader when he has to be, and he's also a hard taskmaster, but he has to be. Do you know what I mean? He's got the balance just right. And the performances of Daniel Dubois, we'll say it again, mirror that. They show how good that chemistry is. And it's so important. I was so lucky I had the same coach throughout my pro career. I had that stability, I had that understanding, I had that chemistry, you like, and that trust in Tony Sims, and he has that with Daniel.
If Daniel Dubois does pull off the incredible on Saturday, how close is he to Lennox Lewis? Because I firmly believe that if he becomes undisputed, you might have to jump him above AJ and Fury, becoming undisputed. Is that fair, that first point? I mean, do you jump him above what they've done if he can beat Alexander Usyk?
Well, those two haven't done it. And again, I go back to the meaning of those belts. And if you're carrying all of them, beating a generational great,
yes,
then you have to be.
And here's another point on Daniel, potentially still an improving fighter. He's only 27 years old, and in terms of a heavyweight, that's nothing really. There's at least another 10 good years in Daniel, 10 years of maybe improvement. So that's a scary prospect actually to think about that. So if he wins this and pulls it off, it's going to be a massive win. One of the biggest British wins,
of all time.
Have to say, of all time.
Of all time. All right, we're ready for this. Let's go an exhibition fight. So Darren and Carl, are you commentating from up here?
We're going to do it from up here.
From up here. Let's throw it down to Thomas Schreiber to get this one on the road.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special 4-round attraction. We're going to welcome to the ring Kira, the Pink Panther, Makanenko.
Well, here is the 18-year-old Kira Makanenko, born in Ukraine. She had a glittering amateur career, if you like. Still, as I say, the tender age of 18. She's an ambassador for Alexander Usyk's Ready to Fight team. She has a massive social media following, 200,000 on Instagram. One to watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, this special attraction, scheduled for 4 rounds, our referee in charge will be Seamus Dunn. Introducing to you first, boxing out of the blue corner. She comes to the ring wearing white, black, and orange. Representing the country of Hungary, here is Judith Hatchbold. And across the ring, boxing out of the red corner, she comes to the ring wearing pink trunks with white. Representing Ukraine, here is 17-year-old Kira, the Pink Panther, Makanenko.
Ladies. Okay, ladies, I gave you my instructions in the change rooms. You know exactly what I expect. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my instructions at all times. Shake hands. Good luck.
Well, an exhibition here at the Box Park in Wembley. Kira Makanenko versus Judith Hatchbold. Cole, you can see from the offset, it's a bit of height difference.
Yeah, there's a fair bit, isn't there?
Seeing you again.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Makanenko looks like. We've obviously heard a lot about her, and Usyk's very fond of her, or she wouldn't be on this slot. And potentially there's more eyes watching this than any of her fights that she's had. That was a good jab already, wasn't it?
Stunning jab, really quick hands. From the clips I've seen, she's very, very sharp. She does a bit of everything. She likes to walk her opponents onto hooks. You can see there, sharp, sharp hands. She was a European schoolgirl champion at 42 kilograms in 2021.
Just switching there as well. Something I couldn't do, Darren. Were you a switcher? Did you ever switch?
Nah, couldn't switch. I would have got knocked spark out. Yeah, father and former kickboxer Artem. Didn't want her to box. Trained her, as an amateur. You presume would be the coach. Well, Makanenko moving forward. Yeah, she's looking good, looking comfortable.
She's got good balance, hasn't she? And from what I've seen so far, she's clearly a very talented fighter. Good jab, good feet, good distance control. There's a lot to like already.
And as I say, Cole, an ambassador for the Ready to Fight banner of Alexander Usyk. What do you think it's all about? Is this a case of showcasing what they've got, the talent that they're going to bring through?
I think so.
From Ukraine?
There's so many incredible fighters in Ukraine, male and female, and I think that potentially, I'm making a guess here, but Usyk will... We've seen the rise of female boxing, haven't we? It's huge at the minute, and a lot of that's down to Katie Taylor, amongst others. But this kid will want to get her name in the mix. Usyk will have seen how popular female boxing is at the minute. No doubt she's going to be on a lot of his pro shows going forward.
Yeah, she went viral, posted a video of her juggling with one hand, and punching a bag with the other. So obviously learned how to juggle from the great man himself, Alexander Usyk, but success breeds success. We hear it all the time. And you can imagine from Makanenko how great it must be and inspiring it must be to be working alongside Usyk.
Of course, imagine that as an 18-year-old kid. If you put yourself in that position, Darren, like imagine me or you as an 18-year-old fighting or training alongside the undisputed cruiserweight and heavyweight champion in the world. It would be absolutely phenomenal. But Usyk knows what he's doing, and he knows good fighters when he sees one, and we can see already that this kid's a good fighter, and that's... She wouldn't be around Usyk if she wasn't.
Yeah, exactly that. She's actually beaten by England's Ruby Cuthbertson in the final of the European Junior Championships in 2023. That was at 46 kilograms. We're not too sure, but that may be the only registered loss she had as an amateur. She looks classy. She really does. Quick hands, a lot of thought in her work, and I don't think it'll be long, Cole, until we see her in her real first professional bout.
No, I don't think so. I mean, she's young. She's 18, but she looks maybe a little bit younger than that even. So there's plenty of time yet, but she's definitely going to be one for the future. Look, this is an exhibition, but they'll want to show. There'll be a little bit of messing about. We have seen a little bit of that, but both girls here will want to show the best of their abilities.
As we've said already, what an occasion, you know, albeit this is the media workout, you're still involved in the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world show. You know, this is the media workout, the fight between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois for all the marbles. What a moment for these.
It's an amazing, it's a massive moment, a huge opportunity for them to kind of get themselves known in a different part of the world amongst different people. And like you said, Darren is 200,000 Instagram followers, but a lot of people in this room may never have heard of her, and she's got the chance to pick up new fans here tonight.
Yeah, what night it's going to be. Saturday, the rematch. Daniel Dubois rejuvenated, a different fighter altogether. Will we see a different fight, Cole?
I want to see Daniel be more aggressive. I think that I think we're going to see it's going to be a real battle with a front foot to who claims the centre of the ring. I think both guys are going to want to go forward. People have Usyk down as a mover, but I mean, he is a mover, but he really holds the centre of the ring well, doesn't he? You never see him, very rarely you see him laying back on the ropes or even circling the ropes, so he's always trying to go forward and apply pressure with the front foot, but it's important that Daniel doesn't allow him to do that. I think Daniel as well has to impose his size and strength, but I mean, all these things are a lot easier said than done when you're fighting Usyk.
Oh, it's going to be packed out at Wembley Stadium. If you haven't got a ticket, make sure you buy the pay-per-view live on DAZN, the global home of boxing. Today, July 26th, to see a brilliant all-female card on Friday in New York. I'm sure that fight will follow suit. Into the third round of this exhibition here at Box Park, just down the road, stone's throw away from Wembley Stadium, where that big fight is going to take place, in a big, sharp southpaw 1-2.
That was nice, wasn't it?
Makanenko, that was lovely. Staggered, hatch-bowled back. Just been in complete control here.
Good body shot there as well.
She's not treated this as an exhibition, has she?
No, there's been, I know, not really. There's been a little bit of messing about, but again, like an exhibition's one thing, but when you have the opportunity here, there's no way you can ask these girls to tone it down and not try to impress. It's an opportunity for them to do that, and that's what she's trying to do.
Yep, hands low, enjoying herself. Hatch bowl, trying to keep her hands up and avoiding the shots coming her way, but they're coming in from all angles with speed, and then the footwork after, just gliding out of range. Lovely work. Certainly going to be one to watch, you'd think, Cole.
Yeah, I think so. And even that, just we've seen a small example of it, just kind of changing the tempo in her shots, just throwing a little couple of 1-2 feeder shots and then increasing the speed after that. And
I guess one of the issues is it's getting more depth now, but the female game, there's not much feeling out process, is there, with the early amount of fights? And at the tender age of 18, you wouldn't think, with this kind of style that she has, she's classy, she's very good, it's going to be too long until she's in some real meaningful fights. It's going to be tough kind of managing her career.
Of course, I think so. Look, she's a young kid, so you'll have to rein her in a little bit, and some of these more established pros will be a fair bit stronger than her at this stage, but matching her is probably going to be difficult. But like you said, there isn't much strength and depth in female boxing. There's a lot of very, very good ones, and there's some not so good. So you feed her a few of them first, I'd imagine, before you make her step up. But that uppercut was nice, wasn't it?
That was a beautiful shot. Shades of the great man himself, the way she just slips outside and throws that uppercut. Russabner in the corner there.
Didn't like that, you know. I think that was that hurt her a little bit, that uppercut.
Yeah, I think Hatchbowl thought this was going to be a nice, easy stroll, a nice feeling out process, but Makanenko has been absolutely none of it. She wants to put on a show, and put on a really good performance in front of the people here at Box Park. As I say, just round the corner from Wembley Stadium. And if you like, announce herself, albeit just an exhibition.
We're coming in the last round here, so it's the last 2 minutes for her to really impress. I imagine we're going to see her turn it on a little bit here. But fair play to both girls. This has been something different, hasn't it? And I've enjoyed it.
Yep, so have I. And again, she's started this fourth round hands low, firing out a sharp, snappy jab. She's a bag of tricks. She really is. An awful lot to like. Really good footwork, the variation good, and I think you'll agree, Carl, to go through the levels, you've got to have that hand speed, and she has it in abundance.
Yeah, she has it, and there was just a nice little step back there as well. Like we talked about the distance control. She's clearly a very, very good fighter, and I do think there's more gears. It is an exhibition. She is trying to impress, but I do think if push came to shove and she had to turn it on a little bit more, she could do that too.
Yeah, good footwork there to spin it off. The lead right check hook. Derek Chisora just down on the floor asking me what this is and just explaining that it is an exhibition. That's why they're wearing head guards and bigger gloves, but it's been a good display from Makanenko.
Oh,
lovely shot.
Nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, the left to the body there. Really impressive. Getting back to work. Hatchbold, she's been under the cosh, and she really is in this final round.
Fair play to Hatchbold as well. Well, first of all, for being involved in this event here, but she's tried her best. She's clearly not at the same level, but she's a brave fighter. She's trying to throw back. And she's had a little bits of fleeting success, shall we say.
Makanenko on the front foot again, just looking for that right hook. She's going to be one to watch, as we say. Nice little counter left there, just takes a step back on the mouthpiece of Hatchbold. Just dislodged. Nice counter with that left hand.
These couple of seconds here will do her good, because she was under the cosh there, wasn't she? Just for them 30 seconds prior to that.
I think in an exhibition like this as well, probably
you don't want it. It's the last
just
thing
ring
you
the
want.
bell.
I know, ring the bell. You don't want to see anyone getting too outclassed or hurt even.
Yeah, she's played her part. She showed us, I guess, that she can soak it up, Hatchbold, but it was a really good exhibition as far as Makanenko from Ukraine was concerned. As I say, part of Usyk's Ready to Fight team. She's got very, very bright future in front of her.
Look at Russ Abner in their corner as well. You know what I mean? They have someone that he's been in the corner of so many great fighters, including Lomachenko and Usyk, to name but a few. So even that experience for her is going to be, well, I think it's going to be a great experience going forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for both ladies. Judith Hatchbold and 17-year-old Kira, the Pink Panther, Makanenko.
There you go, the win for Makanenko. Alexander Usyk, slowly but surely, sort of turning over to a promoter, starting to build a really good stable of fighters as well, and I think this is his first female fighter, and you can tell from her hands and the footwork, she's pretty good.
Yeah, she's proper, she's the real deal, and as you say there, it's a snippet in obviously the future of Alexander Usyk and what we can expect to see. But yeah, good exhibition, and as we've said, something new, something to enjoy at these events, as I'll call them.
She could have easily have gone 10-2s.
Yes, not even going there.
That engine, yeah, like nothing. She's not deep breathing, nothing. Very easy work for her. Again, the crowd enjoyed it. It's a nice little stopgap, and then we will continue now. We're bringing the fighters in for more of a media public workout. There you go, I enjoyed that. That was good. It was good to see. The crowd really starting to build up here as well. Just in front of me, they're on the bits in front of me here, down the front near the bar. No surprise, the weather's good. They're all going to get a drink in. And here, right in front of us here, loads of media, which again highlights just how big a fight this is.
It's a huge fight. It really is a huge fight. Britain could potentially have the first undisputed champion since Lennox Lewis. It doesn't really get much bigger than that. It's at the home of football, Wembley Stadium, sold out 90,000 crowd. It's massive. We can't underplay how big this fight is.
Indeed. All right, let's continue with this media public worker. Let's go back to Thomas Schreiber.
Our next two fighters competing Saturday in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the IBF Intercontinental and WBA Continental Championships, and also the vacant WBO International Light Heavyweight Championships. Let's first welcome to the ring the challenger from Southampton, Hampshire, England, undefeated with 11 wins, 3 wins come by way of knockout. He is the current British and Commonwealth Light Heavyweight Champion. Here is Lewis the Saint Edmondson.
Here comes Lewis Edmondson. What a chance for him. And I mean, by the way, sort of being crowned as the #1 sort of British light heavyweight is some doing when you think of just how deep the light heavyweight division is over here.
Yes.
The guy is just below him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real honour. This man can fight, I'm telling you. He's a bag of tricks, but he's aggressive with it. And he's never fazed by anything. He gets in there and he does his thing. He worries about what he's going to do. An exceptional fighter, a real talent. It's mad. Identical record to Daniel Lapin. He has one fewer stoppage, but I think this is a brilliant fight. I think we'll see a bit of everything. What I've seen in both of their sort of later stages of their 11 fights that they've had is they're naturally trying to be a bit more aggressive. And I think it makes for a brilliant fight.
Both guys are getting better, but I think if you want to look through the records and dissect them, I think the best win on anyone out of Edmondson or Lapin is Edmondson's win over Dan Aziz. That was a great win. It's a close fight, but I thought he'd done enough to nick it, and he is a very good fighter.
Yeah,
sorry, Harry. We talk about 50-50 fights in this game all the time, and sometimes they're not really 50-50. This is a 50-50 fight. This is a hard one to call.
Yeah, back that win up over Dan Aziz by beating the unbeaten Kajawa. Obviously not to the level of Dan Aziz, but got the job done there as well. And as you guys say, he's almost coming into himself, isn't he? He's finding out who he is. He's a very good fighter. And he knows as well, domestically and internationally, he's in a really hot division.
Yeah, I think he's ready now to take the next step. You know, he's done the domestic duties. Now it's his time to sort of announce himself to the general public, you know, the person next door, and get on the world scene now. A win over Daniel Lapin, who's ranked really high in 2 of the governing bodies, the WBA and the IBF, puts him right up there. And you're not too far off there. This one, I believe, is it WBO and the IBF, Intercontinental, they catapult you up those rankings, and you're not far off a really big, meaningful fight again after that.
To the undefeated challenger, Lewis the Saint Edmondson. And now let's welcome the defending champion, coming to us from Kyiv, Ukraine, undefeated with 11 wins. 4 of his 11 wins come by way of knockout. This Saturday, he will be the reigning and defending IBF Intercontinental and WBA Continental Light Heavyweight Champion, Daniel Lapin.
Here he is, Daniel Lapin, all 6'6" of him. He could have walked over those ropes, decided to be polite and go for the middle. But very awkward. We've seen a couple of his fights because he's fought under Alexander Usyk cards before in Riyadh season. I like him. I like the look of him. And let's see what he can do against someone that's going to be in his face all the time in Lewis Edmondson.
Yeah, look, he's clearly someone who Usyk likes, and Usyk, I don't think Usyk would have him around him if he wasn't a good fighter. And just the fact that Usyk's putting so much time and effort into this guy and trying to raise his profile, always has him on his undercards. I imagine that's a requirement of Usyk when he gets involved in these big fights, to have Lapin on the undercard. But a 6'6" light heavyweight southpaw. I mean, can you think of anyone more awkward, Darren?
He's got, well, to be honest, I was about to say he's got the frame of a high jumper, but when I see him again having his photographs taken back in the hotel, he's really starting to fill out now. But what he has is such a smooth, relaxed style. The footwork that he possesses, you just see a little glimpse there, just moving side to side. But in real time, he's rapid with the footwork, but he doesn't over-exaggerate the movement. He'll just take half a step out, avoid the shots, and fire back with quick combinations. The hand speed is very good, the variation, and as I say, in the last 5 fights, 4 of them have been by stoppage. He's starting to punch harder.
He's starting to fire, isn't he? But, I mean, this is lovely what he's doing here with these young lads, and what an experience for them to be in the ring with potentially a future world champion just ahead of a huge
The undisputed global home of boxing, where the greatest fighters take center stage, with fights every week and over 185 a year. And now, the mighty Queensberry joins over 30 worldwide promoters to up the ante like never before, with the best of the best.
The biggest nights.
There's no limits to what's possible. Nobody brings you closer to the action. Because if the fight is on, it's on the zone. The global home of boxing.
Absolutely loads of boxing coming your way. Look at this. Hoban Heesanen takes on Thomas. Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. Remember, you can buy that one now. Just go to thezone.com. Then one of my favorite fighters, Jesse Bam Rodriguez, takes on Fumilele Cafu Saturday, July 19. That's after Usyk versus Dubois. And then the week after that, Flores versus Chavez. A better midweek boxing from Golden Boy on Thursday. Loads of boxing. All right, let's continue with the media public work, and let's throw it back downstairs to Thomas Schreiber.
Our next 2 fighters competing Saturday in a scheduled 10-round contest, and it will be for the WBC Silver Heavyweight Championship. Let's first welcome the challenger, coming to us from Johannesburg, South Africa. He brings a professional record of 31 wins, 3 defeats, with 15 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former IBO Cruiserweight World Champion and the current WBC Bridgerweight World Champion. Let's welcome Kevin Two Guns Lerena.
Here comes the South African Rhino. Kevin Lerena moved up from Cruiserweight. Again, you heard Thomas Schreiber say it there, champion at Bridgerweight, now competing at heavyweight. Him and Lawrence Okoli have literally crossed paths so many times. Was supposed to get it on at Cruiserweight, didn't happen. Rumors about a Bridgerweight fight. And you just feel, and I can see Lawrence to the side, Lawrence at heavyweight is just too big a problem. Like, at Cruiserweight, you could have said, okay, Lawrence has to boil himself down to 14 stone. You look at Lawrence now, he looks enormous.
He weighed 260 pounds. in his last fight. It's incredible.
How did you ever make light heavyweight?
It's nuts. But this man here, Okoli and Lerena, I just spoke to him. We did some media stuff beforehand, and he's fired up for this fight. Yeah. We were talking about how defeats can age well with time, and I think his defeat to Justice Hooney.
Oh yeah,
you know the way Hooney performed against Fatbear Woody, and you've got to remember he lost his mum the day before that fight, but he still went ahead with it. And
let's welcome the defending champion from London, England, a 2016 Olympian, now with a professional record of 21 wins, just 1 defeat, 16 of his 21 wins coming by way of knockout. He is a former 2-weight world champion, and this Saturday, the reigning and defending WBC silver heavyweight champion, Lawrence the Sauce Okoli.
Who's calling it? Here he is, the new Lawrence Okoli. I say new because he's now a heavyweight, and he wants to inject some noise into this heavyweight division, and he's doing it. He's been calling out a lot of the big boys, and he knows a win on Saturday, and he's right in the mix. He's right there. I like the idea of him going to Poland to win that Bridgerweight title. It was an easy win in the end, but I thought there was a lot of pressure on him just to kind of knock someone out rather than kind of do, as you say, the holding stuff. And I think it's going to be very different at heavyweight.
Yeah, more comfortable for sure. And he said that all of his times, like track work and stuff that he's lifted in the gym, has all improved by putting on that extra bit of weight. He didn't know quite how bad it was for him to get down to cruiserweight, and he's a lot more comfortable now. As I said, he weighed 260 pounds last time. He said an optimum sort of weight would be around 240, so it'd be interesting on Friday to see what he weighed. But he's enjoying himself. He understands the opportunity that presents itself here, and he thinks if he was to beat Lerena, get the WBC silver title, he thinks he's 1 fight or 2 fights away for challenging for the real deal.
Even that line you just said there, Darren, that's a mad fact. That he was a cruiserweight at one point, 200 pounds. And his last fight was at 60 pounds over the cruiserweight limit, which is insane to me. And he could probably look like he's in a little bit better shape, but he didn't look that bad, did he?
No.
At 260, so even at 240, I mean, if he gets down to 240 and that's his optimum weight, he's going to look like someone at 240. He's not going to look like a fat cruiserweight.
Agreed. I know what you mean.
And he's coming off the back of 2 first-round stoppages, so we've known that he punches extremely hard, but that power with that added weight is going to be frightening now.
Yeah, and I think he's happy to throw his hands just because he knows the gas tank's there as well now, as opposed to cruiserweight. That's a really good co-main event. Kevin Lerena versus Lawrence Okoli. Should be a banger, that one.
Thank you very much to the defending champion, Lawrence the Sauce Okoli.
Just heard about the things that you do, my love. And you're just like me if it's true, my love. Hey, you can see right through my love. Hey, I see your waist shrunk, my love. Hey, you got some bass in the trunk.
Okay, you know what that means, don't you? There's 2 more fighters to go. And those 2 fighters, I can tell the crowd is starting to swell. So Daniel Dubois is in the building. I can see his team here just walking past me on my right-hand side. Alexander Usyk's team's here as well. Quick word on that one, the co-main event. Lawrence Okoli versus Kevin Lerena. You know, I was very confident about Okoli until you mentioned the Justice Hooney fight. And I remember that well because Kevin Lerena had his moments in there where he felt like he could win. This isn't as easy as people think for Okoli, is it?
No, look, like I say, with time, sometimes your stock can rise through defeat, and I think that's certainly the case. But aside from that, this man's hunger is unparalleled. Like, he's desperate to fight for a heavyweight world title. He said it was just a dream. He got written off, and he said he will walk through walls to get that opportunity. He's going to leave absolutely everything in the ring Saturday night.
Well, I guess Okoli is a wall, isn't he?
Yeah, it is. A big lump. I don't think this isn't an easy fight for any of the 2. Addy, is it? It's a difficult fight for both men, and Lerena, he's got a right to feel confident about it. Like, Okoli isn't naturally a heavyweight. Well, maybe he is. He's coming in at 216 pounds, but Lerena will be looking at that differently. This is a former cruiserweight. I'm a former cruiserweight from a big heavyweight, and I have been here for quite a while. I've done what I've done to Daniel Dubois. I got close enough to Justice Hooney. I'm going to beat Lawrence Okoli. That's what the thought process will be in his head at the minute.
All right, that's the co-main event. Obviously, the main event is Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. We spoke a bit earlier about Daniel Dubois' camp. Here's a bit of insight into the camp of Daniel Dubois.
Let's go. Good. Right, let's go. Good. Let's go.
Daniel's a 360 athlete. He's a well-rounded athlete. Daniel could, if you took Daniel away from boxing, he could be an American football player, he could be a rugby player, he could be a sprinter. Yeah, so he's one of those, he's gifted in the sense, physically, he's gifted, you know, well-balanced.
That's what I want.
This time round, I'm going to knock him out and I'm going to win. That's going to be the main difference from that first fight to this fight. That's going to be the main thing. I'm excited, but you know, still got a lot of work to do before the 19th. So every day, we're getting chipping away, I guess. Right now, I ain't got too much to say. I'm just humble and ready to fight, ready to win, ready to shock the world and take all the belts.
Peace out. That was nice. I was more impressed by the Porsche, if I'm honest with you. Little red leather interior.
How does he fit in there, Daddy?
Wow, incredible. Michael Hunter is with us now. And I just said to Michael off camera, like, Mike, what's going on? What's happening with you? Go on, explain what's happening with you, Michael, because there'll be a lot of fight fans who feel like they haven't seen you in the limelight for a long time.
Yeah, well, you know, I haven't really been in the limelight in a while. I've been on this, obviously I've stayed busy. I've been in the scene, trying to put my name in the hat as much as I could for many years, any platform I could. So, and that's the reason why I'm here today, you know, just try to make something happen for myself. So We know, as you know, I'm the WBA mandatory for Kabrat Pulev for the regular belt, and then hopefully I'll defend it, and hopefully take Fabio Worley's interim title shortly after, hopefully in Ipswich.
I like it. So that's the route planned, because obviously Fabio Worley came through against Justice Huni. What did you make of that fight? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I thought it was a great fight. I thought Worley let his nerves get the best of him, which it happens. You know, it just comes with experience. You know, he's constantly learning. I'm pretty sure that, you know, that's not going to happen every time. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's the fight game. You know, I was just explaining to another guy that it's very, very hard to come into 100% the day of the fight. You know what I'm saying? We all have issues and drama and all sorts of things go on during camps, and sometimes you just have a nightmare, a wet dream before the fight. So anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? So,
Michael, a quick word on the main event: Alexander Usyk, Daniel Dubois. How'd you see that one playing out?
I think that Daniel could win. I do see him winning because there's a lot of energy for him. There's a lot of people wanting him to win. There's a lot of people that think he's going to win because they want him to win. So I do think that he's going to do a lot better this time. To edge it out, I don't think so. I think he's going to come a little bit short. It's kind of like the Tyson Fury thing. He's going to do a lot better. He's going to have a little bit more game plans and tactics. But I think that, like I said, the night of the fight, I think to put it all together, he's going to come up a little bit short. I do think, you know, if Daniel Dubois has the right game plan, I think he should just blitz him a little bit, go to the body, make it ugly. Don't let anybody give the rhythm. The ref, him, or himself.
Michael, sorry, I have to interrupt you because the fighters are ready. Thomas Schreiber's ready as well. Let's get the two main fighters in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, our highly anticipated main event this Saturday. It is scheduled for 12 rounds, and it will be for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, with Ready to Fight, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, The Ring Magazine, GG Bet, SNU, and Global Next Trade. A big thanks to those great sponsors. Also a reminder, it will be shown live worldwide on DAZN by now at DAZN.com. Let's now welcome the participants. First to the ring, from England, his professional record, 22 wins, 2 defeats, with 21 of his 22 wins coming by way of knockout. This Saturday, he will be the reigning and defending IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois.
Everybody wants to know where walking the park is. Walking the party, school in the morning. For the cars who snooting.
Here we go, Daniel Dubois in the ring. What an opportunity for Daniel Dubois here to become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And look, he looks sharp, he looks focused, he actually looks a bit lighter. Or is that just me?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. There's an edge about him, slightly tense, but you can understand why with the magnitude of this. But we were saying the same thing when he fought AJ, and what did he do there? He completely ripped up the script. This man is rejuvenated. This man has all the confidence in the world, and he's going to need that in facing a master in Alexander Usyk. Can he land those big heavy shots? If he does, we could see the first British heavyweight champion with all 4 belts. It needs to be perfect for Amade. Everything needs to be perfect. It needs to be better than he's ever been before, and there needs to be a slight decline in Usyk as well. It all has to be perfect for Daniel on the night, but there's no reason why it can't be. He has a great chance of winning this fight.
Let's hear it for the reigning and defending IBF heavyweight champion of the world from England, Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois.
Okay, Daniel Dynamite Dubois looking dialed in, looking ready to go. How confident are you 3 days out?
I'm switched on and focused, ready to cause chaos in that ring. I'm ready to go.
Let's go! And listen to this, all these people, they've turned up for you. Tremendous ovation tonight. It must mean so much to you.
Yeah, it's going to mean them, you know, I'm grateful for this opportunity and I'm ready to seize it. I'm ready for the moment.
One word that you keep saying over and over again this week, chaos. What does that mean for Oleksandr Usyk on Saturday?
Tune on Saturday because we're going to get that victory. Come on!
One final one, Daniel. If you become undisputed champion Saturday, how much will that mean to you?
Yeah, the whole team. To the whole team, it means a lot to all of us. We worked hard for this. We're not going to let this one go.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Daniel Dynamite Dubois!
That might be the quickest media workout I've ever seen. He wanted out there, by the way, after 15 seconds. Don was like, no, just throw a few more. Like, come on, throw a few more. People have turned up for you. But, you know, he even sounds more confident, doesn't he? And that could be age, could be maturity, right? We've seen Daniel since he was 17, but he just sounds like a grown man now who's confident in his own skin.
Yeah, he does. You can see it. You can see his demeanour, everything about him. He looks confident, the things that he's saying, the things that he's shouting as well. Yes. But he's up for this, but he's going to have to be up for it. It's the toughest fight of his life. He knows that, I'm sure. I'm sure his team know that as well. And like we said, everything needs to be perfect for him, but they'll have prepared for that.
All right, let's throw it back to Thomas because he's going to get in the ring. I think one of the greatest fighters of all time. The wonderful, incredible Oleksandr Usyk.
And now let's welcome to the ring from Ukraine, a 2012 Olympic gold medalist, now undefeated as a professional with 23 wins, 14 of his 23 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former undisputed cruiserweight champion, the former undisputed heavyweight world champion, the current Ring Magazine champion, and this Saturday, the reigning and defending WBC, WBA, WBO, and IBO heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk!
Okay, 3 have become 4 in the studio, and I'm very happy to have Don Charles, the man who I think single-handedly turned around Daniel Dubois. It's got very loud in here as well. Don, you've had some incredible moments so far as Daniel Dubois' trainer. This is the moment, though, isn't it, on Saturday?
Well, it's all moment. It's a team moment. This is what Daniel, from the minute Daniel became a boxer, this is what it's all led to. All the hard work, all the sacrifices that young man has made. He hasn't had like what we'll call a normal childhood, but he sacrificed a lot for Saturday night.
What about the moment for you, Don? I know this is all about Daniel Dubois and Oleksandr Usyk, but what about for you as a trainer? You became a world championship trainer. You have the chance to go down as a legendary trainer on Saturday.
That is the intention. That is what's going to happen. Yeah, you know me. I'm a spiritual person. From the minute I landed in England as a 14-year-old young man, it became apparent. This is what it's all about. To become, we've already reached one milestone, which is Daniel becoming a world champion. Now to go further and become the undisputed. Wow. I mean, whenever I say that, I get goosebumps. Honestly, yeah.
Don, since the first fight with Usyk, we've seen Daniel improve immensely. He's clearly a better fighter. But at 27, he's still a young heavyweight. Is it fair to say that Daniel is maybe still an improving fighter right now?
Oh, most definitely. In my opinion, wow, that atmosphere is brilliant. In my opinion, Usyk is meeting Daniel Dubois at the wrong time for Usyk, and Daniel's meeting Usyk at the right time for Daniel Dubois. The age you're at your best. Any man, yourself, Darren, Ade, we're all at our best when we're 27, physically and mentally. Daniel Dubois is in a very good place.
Don, I want to ask you as well, the shift in mentality since he fought AJ to now after, there seems to be a real aura surrounding Daniel Dubois.
And quite rightly so, on the victories he's gotten, he's a human being, that's going to have that effect. Also, I always say you are the company you keep. The people around him right now, everything is just fit. It really does. It's a number of factors that lead to the Daniel Dubois you're looking at. It's not just one thing, it's a number of a collective of different positive factors that the Daniel you're looking at now.
And you are the reason for that, Don. I know you don't like to pat yourself on the back, but
it's a collective effort.
I'm going to do it. It is a team effort, and I can see a lot of your team just below us, but you've almost built that camp for Daniel Dubois. I'm liking it to Big Bear. It's almost like your very own version of Big Bear.
It looks like, if you don't mind me saying, it almost reminds me of a Klitschko type camp, the facilities and everything you've got.
Correct. I mean, look, obviously, I hate taking credit. It is a team, but I'm the captain of the ship.
Yes, sir.
With the father. The father also, he doesn't like coming on TV, the father. So I speak on his behalf. That man has done tremendous work, because if he hadn't done how he raised his children earlier in their lives, we wouldn't have this opportunity to train this fine, tremendous 360 athlete in the name of Daniel Dubois.
You've obviously dreamt about this fight since it was announced.
Yeah.
Break down that dream for me. How does this fight play out for you?
In my dream, it plays out where Daniel Dubois, business as usual, is going to win this fight emphatically with a knockout. I've told you, and I've told you. With a capital K, capital O. Exclamation mark.
When you look at the man in the ring, let's turn around and look at him.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a generational great fighter.
Well, most definitely. Not taking nothing away from him. He's a legend. Irrespective of what happens when we beat him, when Daniel beats him, it goes down as one of the greats. Yeah? To me, he doesn't have to prove anything else, in my opinion.
Don, good luck on Saturday, Don.
Thank you.
It's a fantastic moment. Well done. Congratulations. You deserve it. Thank you.
Oleksandr Usyk.
When Don speaks, you can't believe him. You're like, 1 second, I might have to run to the bookies quickly.
It's hard not to like Don.
He didn't laugh either.
No.
He didn't smile.
No,
he was
straight
dead
at your
serious.
eye.
He believes it. He's not just saying it. He's not just saying it for a sound, but he believes what he's saying.
And I guess age is the equalizer, isn't it? I mean, he's right. As good as Oleksandr Usyk is, and he is phenomenal, 38 is 38.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a young man's game, isn't it?
It's a young man's game. There's got to be a time where he starts to slow down, but we haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, but it's Usyk, and we haven't seen it. I do wonder in the back of his mind, he saw his great friend, the wonderfully talented Vasily Lomachenko, call it quits a few months ago, apologies. I do wonder if that's in the back of his head, that the people that I came through in the 2012 Olympics they're all done, really.
It is. I asked him the question, how long will we see the great Oleksandr Usyk in the ring? He said 2 more fights.
He said 2 more?
1 more.
What's the 1 more?
Off the top of my head, you'd probably
Fury.
say, oh, do you think Fury again? Right?
Well,
I mean,
if Fury asks for it, he gets it.
If Fury asks for it, but I think it would be very unfair to Joe Parker, even Caballel as well.
Wow, incredible. That was intense, by the way. Oleksandr Usyk, who's the away fighter, I mean, the crowd, you see, the crowd really went for Oleksandr Usyk. All right, let's remind you of what we got coming your way on Saturday. Really is a great fight card. Lasha Guruli, a lot of people excited about him. Olympian takes on James Francis. Adam Hamed, the son of the great Prince Nassim Hamed, has these 6 professional fight. He takes on Ezekiel Gregorius. Vladislav Sirenko, this one's very interesting. Takes on Solomon Dakers, who's coming off that defeat to David Adelaide. And then the Daniel Lapin versus Louis Edmonson light heavyweight fight. We just saw both guys in the ring. Lawrence Okoli versus Kevin Lerena, both now in the heavyweight division. And then we saw maybe one of the greatest heavyweights, not maybe, definitely one of the greatest heavyweights we've ever seen, Oleksandr Usyk against Daniel Dubois for everything in the heavyweight division. Whew, man. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? I mean, I'm excited by this. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, give me some. It's going to be great. And make sure you tune in. Remember, tomorrow is the press conference. Friday is the weigh-in. Saturday, they throw hands. a stone's throw away from here, the National Stadium at Wembley, in front of 90,000 people. If you were one of the lucky ones to get a ticket, congratulations. If not, you know where to go to purchase. Just go to DAZN.com, because this really is a heavyweight showdown you won't want to miss. From myself, from Carl Frampton, from Darren Barker, we'll see you tomorrow for the press conference.
Live only on DAZN. Usyk versus Dubois 2, July 19. He silenced Britain's best. Usyk, the brick breaker, fighting for greatness, for the flag, for legacy. But now, the dynamite is ready to explode. Dubois, reborn, sharper, stronger, a weight of a nation on his shoulders. July 19. Wembley roars beneath the lights. Who will become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world? Usyk versus Dubois 2, live only on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
The workout live on DAZN.